What's good? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. And we still don't know if Apple's going to drop anything in April or not. I mean, you can notice how everyone is pretty much cooled off on that now, but all eyes are still on the new iPad Pros and AirTags, because Apple just made an official announcement about their Find My platform, and we will get to that. But first, let's talk all about the new iPad Pros and iPad Mini after Apple leaker Sonny Dixon has revealed the first images of dummy models for what's believed to be the new 2021 iPad Pros and an iPad Mini 6. Now, at first glance, they sure do look a lot like the 2020 iPad Pros. These dummy models are based off of CAD designs leaked from the Chinese supply chain and help case makers get their accessories in production before Apple officially reveals a product. Now, the iPad Pros still look to have that dual camera design with the LiDAR sensor and flash and the same body and bezel from what we can tell. There's been a lot of buzz from Apple followers that they just want to see a redesigned iPad Mini that has the same design language as the Pros, but that doesn't look like it's happening with the same home button on the front, and then you got the thick bezels on top and bottom. If these are correct, then it would just mean a speed bump. But rumor reports have claimed we'd get a larger iPad Mini display, somewhere around 8.5 to 9 inches compared to its current 7.9 inch display. These images don't make it clear if we'll get that size increase, and sometimes it depends on how close you hold your phone up to it. But let's jump back to the iPad Pros, and as a diehard fan of the product, I kind of look at this and think, okay, what's really going to change? We're expecting Apple to put in a new A14X processor that reportedly will be close to performance with the current M1 chips. Then if the 12.9-inch model gets the rumored mini LED display, how much better performance are we getting for the general iPad Pro user, and how much will we actually be able to see? Like, what difference can we tell? I've told you all before, I didn't upgrade from the 2018 to the 2020 iPad Pro, but now, after looking at the form factor and knowing what to expect spec-wise, I'm wondering to myself, did Apple make the 2018 iPad Pro too good? And I know it sounds silly to throw that out there, but think about this, right? The iPad Pro 2018, as time has gone on, it hasn't aged or skipped a beat. I have never felt like I was missing a single thing that really mattered to me compared to the 2020 edition. It has more than enough processing power that Apple has still yet to fully exploit. You got the battery life that's still stellar, and cosmetically, it still has the current and most modern iPad design. What am I missing with the 2018 iPad Pro that is a must-have for me to even upgrade to 2021? I don't know, really. Like, as a tech reviewer, look, I'll get the new iPad Pro for review. I know that, but I could easily see myself not keeping the 2021 version. And if I'm a general consumer, the only reason that I'm upgrading to a new iPad Pro this year is because I have an older one with maybe the earlier form factor from a 3+ years ago that's feeling a little slow. And even at that, we got web surfing, watching YouTube and watching movies, playing some games. That's what most people are doing. And the new 2021 model won't change those experiences drastically. That's why I legitimately threw out the question, did Apple actually make the 2018 iPad Pro too good? And look, we always want to get the latest and greatest tech, so I don't blame them there. But what we want more than anything from the iPad Pro lineup now is new functionality with software updates. We got the Magic Keyboard. That was really nice, but we don't all need it. I also still want apps that are specific to a Pro that can't be used anywhere else with the performance and efficiency it has. But let's take a step back and imagine for a moment, and I could see that happen this year. What if Apple's offering maybe some new features, and maybe they finally offer some Pro apps, and then they say they're only working for the 2021 iPad Pros because of the latest A14X processor? I wouldn't really be surprised if they did this, because look, you have to remember, they have cut off software features on the iPhone in the past that they only made available to newer models. And I don't think that they will do this, but they could. I'm just throwing the idea out there. So they might release a new Magic Keyboard with the new functionality for this year's iPad Pros and do the same thing by saying, hey, it's only going to work on the 2021 iPad Pros. And that would work on me as like a hardcore iPad Pro user to really say, I gotta upgrade. They would have to limit capabilities to the newest models. But even if they do that, that's not enough to make the entire group of general iPad users feel like they need to upgrade. Like, we saw how good they've made the entry-level iPad Air. This is, to me, the perfect iPad for most people today. And it should be really the first iPad someone considers before even looking at an iPad Pro, unless you want a bigger screen. And today, if someone asks me, hey, which iPad Pro should I get? And they don't want an Air, I would still recommend that they try to find a cheaper 2018 iPad Pro if they can, because look, that's how good it is. So I'm going to throw the question right back to you all in the comments. Did Apple make the 2018 iPad Pro too good? What do you think? Are you planning to upgrade your iPad this year, and maybe why? I'd really love to see what you're thinking, and if you think that this is a stupid question, you can also tell me that too. Like, I'm always in the comments, and if you say it's stupid, I'm gonna send you back an eggplant emoji. All right, we're still gonna talk about new developments from Apple relating to AirTags, but before we do that, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Storyblocks. Now, if you're creating content like me, you can use Storyblocks for your own YouTube channel or for clients and video pitches. If you need any kind of B-roll you could think of, they have a library of over 1 million royalty-free stock assets. That includes B-roll shots, some great looking drone shots. There's templates for Photoshop, Premiere, and Final Cut. There's still images and even royalty-free music to elevate your content. Now, if you want to simulate a breaking news story, you know I like to do that corny fun stuff. Storyblocks has it all, and you can use them for commercial or personal use. With the unlimited all-access plan, you can download as much content as you want. There are no limits. There's an affordable subscription at every level, which allows you to stay on budget. And when you use Storyblocks footage in any of your works, you won't have to worry about anyone coming after you because you own the license with the plan. So if you're interested, go to the link in the description below or go to storyblocks.com/Brian Tong to learn more about Storyblocks. All right, let's get back to the show. And even though we talked about iPads, we might not be seeing iPads and even MacBook Pros as early as you hope because of a global chip shortage that is affecting both production of MacBooks and iPads. Now, Nikkei Asia reports MacBooks have a shortage of chips that are normally mounted onto the circuit board before its final assembly. iPads are also being affected with display and display component shortages. Now, reports still say new iPad Pros are just weeks away from being announced, so we're going to see if this has any impact or not. The report says iPhone components that are limited as well, but have not been affected by the supply shortage yet. So I'm sorry that you might have to hold on to that piece of modern technology that you've only owned for maybe a year or two, maybe, and then have to hold on to it for a few extra months because of these delays. And if that is not a first world problem, I don't know what is. All right, now Apple recently announced the official launch of its Find My Network accessory program. This new program allows compatible third-party accessories to be tracked by Apple's Find My app alongside of Apple devices. So the first three companies that are on board are Belkin with their new Soundform wireless earbuds, Van Moof's S3 and E3 electric bikes that look really slick, and then an item tracker from Chipolo. Or is it Chipolo? Chipolo! They gotta have fun with that. Now, there is no mention of Tile as one of the official partners yet, and if you check your Find My app today, and you're running iOS 14.3 or later, there's a new items tab that has been added to the app for these devices. So we didn't have to wait for 14.5 to be rolled out. It's out now. These are initially Bluetooth devices, but according to Apple, third-party accessories that have ultra wideband support for Apple's U1 chip will also be compatible, making tracking more accurate and precise with those devices. Now, the U1 chip access will be open to other companies later this spring, according to Apple, and I honestly didn't expect them to open up the U1 chip for third-party companies, and this will now give Apple really no major competitive advantage over companies with tracking tags or capabilities like that. Really, the only advantage that they have is likely getting their AirTags out before others to connect to their U1 chip, but functionality-wise, it's going to be the same. And these changes were also made as Apple, they're still in a legal battle overseas with multiple companies claiming Apple's behavior is anti-competitive. Tile even complained to the US House of Representatives earlier this year about how Apple's behavior changed once they started working on their own Tile-esque tracker that will reportedly be called the AirTags. Recently, rumors claim that the new AirTags will be slightly larger than a 50-cent coin and then retail for around $39. You also have Samsung, who just announced their own ultra-wideband tracking tag called the Smart Tag Plus. That's going to launch on April the 16th for $39.99. So what if Samsung signed up to make their tags compatible on Apple devices? Well, that idea has already been squashed because they're going to be using their own Galaxy Find network and will not be compatible with Apple at all. So congratulations for Samsung's launch, making a rumored Apple product and releasing it before Apple did from those rumors. Oh yeah, And one more nugget before we wrap up. There's still a lot of Apple TV people out there, and I don't know if this would make a difference for you, but according to evidence found in the tvOS 14.5 beta code by 9to5Mac, the upcoming Apple TV could support 120 Hz refresh rate. There were multiple references, in fact, to it, 120 Hz, and supports 120 Hz in the code. And this would really only make a difference when we're talking about navigating through the menus or with gaming on the Apple TV, which I am doing none of, even after using Apple Arcade, so it wouldn't make a difference for me. But there have been rumors that Apple was potentially planning for an Apple TV that offered a console gaming-like experience, and 4K and 120 Hz would absolutely help with that. Plus, you would need a TV from about the past couple years to even support that refresh rate, unless you're using a monitor as your primary display for content with an Apple TV connected to it. I don't know a single person doing that, but hey, there's always someone out there. Now, the Apple TV also is rumored to be getting a faster processor and a redesigned remote, and we're expecting to see it by the end of this year. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you see, you know the drill. Give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and new ones every week with special guests. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Take care and be safe. Peace.